Hi, Aaron. Can you introduce a bit about yourself for the audience?
Yeah,
Your
absolutely. Yeah, my name's Aaron Trisna. I stay in Austin, Texas. I'm 33 years old. I've been rocking and rolling in the exterior cleaning business for about 4.5 years now. I'm a chef by trade. Spent about 6 or 7 years in environmental cleanup. Made the transition here during the pandemic to create an exterior cleaning company with an interior touch. We're at year 4.5 right now, working on year 5, and scaling for the first time. So it's been quite the journey.
cool. So before working with us, what were you doing to get commercial leads on a consistent basis?
Yeah, so we've built this business on the back of networking. We're part of a networking organization called BNI, Business Network International. Basically, it's a relationship-based referral group. We get to know one another and we pass business back and forth. We act as mentors for one another and help each other grow inside of our business goals. I have, since the beginning, built this business on the back of networking. I've been very reluctant when it comes to ads and different people doing Google ads and different things like that. A lot of people want you to throw money at the wall. I'm not willing to do that. It's not something I've ever found interest in, or you've even had the funds to do. Being a smaller company and you're growing and you're trying to get past $10,000-$15,000 a month, there's not a bunch of dollars to put back into ads. So our first step outside of networking was email campaigning, and essentially I was collecting all the emails online. This was probably 6 months before, like the 6 months before the AI boom happened. So I was literally going online, copying and pasting everything and working it into my customer management system, and then setting those drip campaigns up to act as email outreach. That email outreach would send those emails out in the course of about a week and a half. They get 3 different emails. And then on that third week, they would receive a call from us, and we create call lists and we'd go out. But it's very time consuming going through and harvesting that data and going on Google and typing it in, and it's very, very time consuming. But it's very, very valuable at the same time. My first campaign that we ran was for home builders, custom home builders here in Central Texas. We targeted 198 builders, connected with 16 of those builders, and 5 of those builders have become reoccurring revenue for us. And inside of that time, we generated, I want to say it was $13,000 in revenue from that campaign. So I know that email campaigning works. So from that, it was just kind of like, I'm wearing many hats inside the business. So it became very time consuming to try to keep up with something like that. But so networking and email outreach has really been the 2 outlets for us.
Okay. And what were your biggest frustrations or challenges, especially when it comes to landing more commercial leads using your network and cold emails, everything, setting up everything by yourself?
It comes down to time. Time is everything. Clean is subjective. Everyone has a different perspective of clean. Everyone has a different perspective and approach of how they want to be communicated with, and how that data needs to be collected can be very, very time consuming. So connecting with something like Up Arrow Agency has helped us find that freedom while the leads roll in via email, and then it's a prep system where everything's warm and we can move right in and we know that they need what we have to offer.
Okay, cool. And what would you say the impact of you working with us has been so far?
What's been the best? I'd say
Yeah.
Usama. I'd say Usama and his partner. The way you guys communicate, the way you guys articulate yourselves, and how thorough you are. I really do appreciate it. You guys are quick to respond. You're quick to ask me how I'm doing, which I really, really love. It's a cohesive environment, I think, that we've created back and forth, and it's been great.
Okay, cool. Can you tell a bit about the number of commercial leads that we forward you and on an average month?
Yeah, we have, since starting this, for example, we started the church campaign probably 2 weeks ago, and we've seen, I think, 8 warm leads so far. I've done 5 site visits off of those. I've turned in let's see, let's do the math real quick. We've turned in 15 plus 1200 plus 1100 plus. So basically, off of those 8 warm leads, we've seen 5 of those turn to site visits, and we've turned in $18,000 of proposals. One of those was a really, really large proposal for a historic building downtown, Ebenezer Methodist or Ebenezer Baptist Church. It was a $15,000 clean, and then the 3 other ones were 1,200, 1,100, and 500.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And then before that, I want to say when we had the other campaign going, we were seeing anywhere between, I think, 8 to 10 leads a month or something like that, maybe a little more.
Yeah, around that range, 10 to 15, I think. Yeah. And we are working right now consistently. Where did you first hear about us? What was that first touch point?
You sent me an email. You sent me an email and simply reached out. It wasn't lengthy. It was very to the point, super short. I think as a business owner, you know, it's nice to see a cold outreach email that isn't really, really lengthy, doesn't take a lot of time to read. It was just a simple question. Hey, can I help you do what you're doing? This is what we're doing, and we'd love to connect with you.
Yeah, cool. I'm sure that you are getting a lot of daily emails like that, right? So what was the reason that you choose us? Why did you choose us specifically?
Because it's performance based is what you explained through that email, that we're going to pay based upon the performance that you guys put out. A lot of these marketing agencies and ad outlets essentially want to tell you, hey, you need to put down $5,000, and it may not work all the way, but you're going to do it again 2 months, 3 months, and then it'll start working around 4 months. I'm not really interested in that as a small business owner. Like I said too, there's not a lot of change to go around dollar wise. So when you're in this beginning state, it's, you know, it's door hangers, it's direct mailers, and a lot of people don't want that trash on their door. They don't want that trash in their inbox nowadays or their mailbox nowadays. So it really comes down to outreach and how we can connect with people on a professional basis. And in the professional world, email is one of the greatest outlets to make that connection.
100%. How likely do you recommend us to others, other cleaning companies, other pressure washers, and other carpet cleaners?
Yeah, 10 out of 10. You guys have been super consistent, super thorough. And like I said, too, I love how communicative you are. I can hit you up on WhatsApp and ask a question. You're going to take the proper notes, take it back to your partner, and you guys always circle back and we figure it out together. A lot of these agencies, it can be hard to, after you get signed up and whatnot, the level of communication that happens is low, you know, and you don't get the same person. You get a different person. They don't have the right notes, and it just becomes this mess of a trail of trash. And you guys run a tidy ship. I really appreciate that. There's a saying inside the kitchen of mise en place, meaning in French, everything has its place. And I think with this relationship, everything has had its place properly.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And for the listeners out there who are not yet ready to take the action, so what would your advice to them to take the action right now?
My advice would be for you to create systems and SOPs and outreach that allows you to have the time to do the outreach, because it's one thing to bring the lead in, it's another thing to close the lead. So having the time to go through and build out a sales process and go through with your outreach, it takes time to close some of these leads. So I'd say, you know, if you have a good formation when it comes to your SOPs and your customer outreach and you're, you know, locked in that sense and you have the time for outreach, I think there's nothing to wait on at all. I think this is one of the greatest formats to reach other businesses in town. You know, it takes 50 clients, 50 commercial clients at $500 quarterly to make 6 figures, you know, to connect with 50 different businesses. That's something that's, you know, a goal of mine right now, recurring revenue wise, is to find 50 different restaurants or outlets that are going to create that recurring revenue of $500 a quarter. And it takes this type of outreach. It takes emails. A lot of people don't have time to discuss our service until they absolutely have the time, until they're clicking around on Google and they want to spend 2 minutes to find someone. So to have the proper information in their hand and in their back pocket before that time comes is everything. So partnering with someone that is doing email outreach and collecting the data in such a fluent and quick way with their AI tools is, in my opinion, the first step to get you past that 15K mark a month.
Awesome. That's a wonderful advice. And so thank you so much, Aaron, for your time today. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video.